Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jedi Modi Sports Betting. In this video, what we're going to be doing, hammering some MLB bets. We have a full slate of baseball today, so we're going to use OddsJam and find some profitable bets. Before I get into it, real quick, would help me out a ton if you could like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then, of course, comment. Let me know your thoughts on my picks. Whether you think they suck or you're going to tail, just comment and let me know. And then also you can find me on my Twitter handle on the screen you see right here at Jedi Modi. Hit me up there as well. I post a bunch of plays and helpful stuff on Twitter as well. I actually just cashed a plus 1500 NBA SGP yesterday, so I'm hoping to keep that hot streak alive. And let's get right into it. So I have 4 bets for you guys today. The first play that we're going to be locking in here is the Cubs versus Athletics. First half total runs under 3.5 at plus 134 odds at FanDuel. So number one, we got to talk about the value here. That's why everything is so profitable, is because of the value using the OddsJam positive EV page. So we see this column right here, the no vig odds, right? These odds you can view as the true line of what the market should be priced at, right? We see it under every single play, these no vig odds on the right. These odds are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world, the sportsbooks that consistently do the best job at pricing odds, like over the course of time. OddsJam tracks all that data, removes the vig, and then uses a weighted average to spit out these odds here. So that's why they are so powerful, basically saying like, hey, these X amount of sportsbooks consistently do the best job at pricing odds. So what we're going to do is not try to be smarter than every single sportsbook. We're just going to find out the sportsbooks that are smart, use them to basically set the market, and then try to find sportsbooks where we can get better odds than these sportsbooks, which is exactly what we have here. OddsJam perfect line, the no vig odds, the true line, however you want to call it, prices this at about plus 127.5, essentially. FanDuel is offering this to us at plus 134. There is your profitability. I also like this one just because look at the gap between the FanDuel odds and the rest of the sports books, right? We see plus 134 at FanDuel. Every other book, plus 110, plus 114, plus 117. Pretty good price that we're getting on FanDuel. Now, looking into this pitching matchup, the concern here is obviously the Athletics pitcher that has a massively inflated ERA. On the Cubs side, we have Stroman, who's a good pitcher. On the Athletic side, not so much. But looking into the weather, in this game is going to be super windy, and the Athletics ballpark isn't necessarily a hitter's park by any means. So we're projecting less runs than normal to be scored in this game. And we just need to get under 3.5 in the first half. So hopefully the A's pitcher can get us to glory, because we're really betting on the value here, right? The value is so good, really can't pass it up. That's play number one. Cubs, Athletics, first half total runs under 3.5, plus 134 odds at FanDuel. Next up, scrolling down a little bit, we are heading to Houston, and we are locking in the Blue Jays versus Astros to go over 10.5 runs, plus 162 odds at FanDuel. So the OddsJam perfect line prices this at about plus 158.5, essentially. We are getting it at plus 162. So again, there's that gap between these two numbers, which is where our profitability comes into play, the gap between these two numbers. Looking at the lines here, plus 162 at FanDuel. SBK, a random book here in Colorado, is close at plus 160. The rest of the sports books, we see plus 140, plus 153, down to plus 135. So we are getting a good price here at plus 162 at FanDuel. In this matchup on the Astros side, they have Jose Urquidy pitching. Pretty good pitcher, but we know we can trust the Blue Jays hitting. They have some big bats. On the Blue Jays side, Chris Bassett, who's had a rough start to the season, and obviously the Astros can mash as well. This is also being played in Houston, where the weather is pretty neutral in terms of runs scoring or not. It's not a super hitter-friendly day. It's also not a super pitcher-friendly day. So really, we're betting again on the value here at plus 162 odds at FanDuel. Blue Jays, Astros over 10.5 runs. And then my third play I found using the low hold page, and we are heading to Seattle. We are locking in Brewers versus Mariners. First 3 innings total runs under 2.5, minus 116 odds at FanDuel. So this play didn't show up on the positive EV page because there's no quote-unquote sharp book to compare it to, but just compare the FanDuel numbers to every other sports book. So Bet Rivers is close at minus 117. Then we see minus 140, minus 135, minus 145, minus 145. So The FanDuel and the BetRivers lines are obviously outliers compared to the other sportsbooks. And looking into this game, we have a pretty awesome pitchers matchup. We have Colin Ray on the Brewer side versus Logan Gilbert on the Mariner side. Now, Colin Ray has had a great start to the season, but obviously in a low sample size. So yes, he pitched well in his first start, but it was only one start. Logan Gilbert has had also a pretty good start for the Mariners. So we're getting pretty good value here. I do like this one, Brewers versus Mariners. First 3 innings, total runs under 2.5, -116. Then the last play that I have is actually a parlay that I found. Basically, there are these 2 plays, first half money line for the Cardinals and first half money line for the Phillies, are both plus EV on FanDuel. They're both minus money, a little bit steeper than normal, mostly the Cardinals one at -144. So there are situations like this where I love to parlay these together. If you find 2 plays for minus money, parlay them together, get it for plus money, and then obviously you're increasing your odds. So I did lock this one in, as you can see here. Phillies first half money line, Cardinals first half money line, parlayed to about plus 213 odds. I put 3/4 of a unit on this one. Now keep in mind, for the Phillies game, they're playing a doubleheader, so make sure you lock in the game that is played at 2:10. This is my time, so 4:10 Eastern between the Phillies and the White Sox. Cardinals, they got Jordan Montgomery on the bump. He's an absolute stud. You're paying for the -144 odds because how good of a play it is, but that's why we parlayed it with the Phillies one, who admittedly make me a little bit nervous because they just can't seem to get their act together. But we are getting a pretty good price here with Sharp Sportsbook having this all the way up at -135. So this is something that I love to do. Again, you find 2 plays for minus money. You just parlay them together instead of taking them both individually. And if they both hit, obviously you increased your payout. And that's going to be it. So 4 plays total for you guys. If you're locking in all 4 of these plays or any of these 4 or some combination, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember, like, subscribe, hit me up on social media, and that's it. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and have a good one.